from Los Angeles, California. We're the Mad Scientist Party Hour.
What is up, friends? And welcome back to another episode of Mad Scientist Party Hour. My name is Kevin Kraft, joined once again by a man who made a wish for a genie to make his pants and underwear disappear. And now he's rubbing his boner the same way he rubbed the lamp. That's Jeff Clark.
Hey, Boominati.
And beaming to us from the hollow earth, the bearded, booger-eating dinosaur rider known as Shuddy Boy.
Yo!
And our very special guest this week is my longtime friend, former co-worker. Ladies and gentlemen, Will Pendarvis is here. Yeah.
Yay! I'm special, huh?
You are special, Will. And I got to say, for somebody who I used to see often, frequently, every day, at work, outside of work, I miss you big time, friend.
Thanks for the ride, lady. I appreciate it.
I was thinking about, our many rides home from the studio, driving through Hollywood. I don't know why this popped into my head the other day. Do you remember that time when we were driving down Highland and hit every red light, and then the millisecond that it turned green, there was a deranged old man in a camper behind us who just fucking laid on the horn immediately?
I do, but I thought, I'm with Kevin. This is what his ride is like every day.
So wait, who drove?
I drove. And
Okay.
And when we got anywhere near where I lived, I would tuck and roll out of the car.
yeah, Will would never let me know where he lived. So he really did jump out of the car sometimes while moving.
Oh, and so when you picked him up, you picked him up blocks away from his house too?
No,
Or
we
did
would
you
meet.
just give him a ride home?
We would meet at the studio, and then
Okay.
ride back afterwards. But the that time with that guy, it took us two lights to be like, "What the fuck is happening?" And we looked behind us, and there was this crazed old man who looked like a cartoon character out of Courage the Cowardly Dog or something. Just big, crazy hair, eyes bugging out of his head. So pissed off, he was slobbering, just "Grr!" The millisecond. And Will and I were like, we're probably about to die, but this is the funniest thing that's ever happened. We're just going to be laughing as we're chopped to pieces.
And by the way, it's not that I didn't want you to know where I lived. It's that I was embarrassed by where I lived, because I lived in the apartment complex where Charles Manson used to live, and it had only gone downhill since then. And it's not the nicest apartment complex.
Did Charles Manson really live there at one point?
Yes. Not in my apartment, but he lived in the building. The guy who lived in my apartment was Crash Darby of the Germs.
The Germ, yeah. Holy shit!
That was the apartment I was in.
You lived in Crash Derby's old apartment?
Yeah, the
Darby
apartment.
Crash.
Oh,
Yeah, Darby Crash.
I always say that backwards.
That he lived in when he died. I mean, he didn't die in the apartment, but that's the apartment he was living in when he offed himself.
Wow, could you imagine if it was haunted by him too?
I don't think that would be cool.
I mean, all things considered, before Charles Manson went nuts, wasn't he producing Beach Boys songs and shit?
He was trying to get his own music career going for sure.
So
Yeah, he was charming. Everyone knew that.
yeah, it was just that was the hub for charming wackos.
I think Axl Rose lived in that complex for a while too.
Did you move to Spawn Range after?
I did not. I moved to Atlanta, Georgia. That's where I moved to.
I mean, Will, you saw my apartment back in the day. What were you trying to hide shame of? We both lived in fucking Hollywood. There's unless you have a star somewhere on the sidewalk, your house sucks. Your apartment sucks.
I guess I was more living in filth.
Well,
That's it.
I mean, I wouldn't drive up the stairs into your apartment. I could have dropped you at the front
You
door.
never know. You never know.
Yeah, but Kevin, if you take him all the way to his house, there is that chance that you're gonna be like, "Oh, let me come up and see your apartment," and then he's gonna have to creatively dance, so it's easier for him to just tuck and roll.
Yeah, I got to go to the bathroom. That's the big fear. Yeah.
You'd be like, Kevin, you live a block away. And I also know how often you shit your pants, so if you don't make it, it's not that big of a deal.
True.
I mean, Will, we have gone through a lot together. We have done countless hours of radio. We have boxed each other in front of a massive crowd at Vegas. We've DJ'd. We've performed live on stage together, making music and stuff.
That's true.
Pitched TV shows together.
You made noises on an album that I made?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Ever since you moved out of LA, my life has felt a little bit more empty.
I love you too, Kevin.
So I knew that you coming on the show, which, by the way, your first time coming on the show, and this show has been going on for nearly 15 years, it's pretty wild. But I knew the listeners were going to be very excited to have you here, and people had a lot of questions. And
this is a Patreon episode for sure.
Yeah, you got to pay the big bucks if you want to hear the answers to all of Will's questions.
This is going behind the paywall.
But obviously, one of the was like, all right, what are we going to ask Will? The first question on everybody's mind is there going to be more Hate Bean? Speaking of music.
It's odd that you asked that. I listened to that album yesterday for the first time in at least a couple of years, and there are some parts of it that are really embarrassing, but there are also some parts that are pretty good, I would say.
Dude, it is a legit. I mean, the whole Hate Bean thing came from just song titles coming up. Like, hey, that sounds like a fucked up, stupid song title. Will make an improv, freestyle a song with that as the title. And then you put out an actual album, like in studio, wrote it, had a real, like, big time music producer produce it. And it was not some just silly, like, how many words can rhyme with fart? It was a legit album.
I wanted to try to make a comic book, an audio comic book musical, I guess. That was the goal. And parts of it turned out great, honestly. There's some really good stuff on it.
It is. And, people reminded me that it is about to turn 10 years old.
Oh, jeez.
Which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, we're old.
Do you have any intentions to make more Hate Bean music?
I don't at the moment. I mean, that was really fun to do, but you kind of want to quit while you're ahead. I don't want to make something that sucks. I just figure it will. So probably not.
I mean, it's been 10 years. You can make or even an EP, like a 3-song EP.
Maybe an EP just for you.
I mean, do you still talk to Michael?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And he had produced like a bunch of really big stuff,
Yeah, I mean, he's got like massive A-list heavy hitters on his
but
his Rolodex.
Some of them are, Puff Daddy. But
do you bust his balls about that?
Yeah, of course. But he also did 9 Inch Nails stuff and back, and I don't know, just a bunch of different. Oh, sorry, I did. But I saw the band Ghost the other night. I don't know how you feel about them. They took away all the cell phones, which I was mad about. But when I saw the show, I was like, okay, everybody's not on their phone. That's kind of cool. And they did put on a great show. It was really good. I was really impressed.
I respect Ghost, but I like my music a little heavier.
Of course.
But, I appreciate what they're doing for the genre. The whole no phones thing that's kind of a bummer because there are a couple jerk-offs that, have their phone out for the entire show, and it's like, congrats, you just paid money to go to a show, and you did not experience it. When I go to shows, I like to get, like, a couple quick, videos for the story, and most of the times it's because the bands that I see are, not very popular, and I do like to, promote them and be like, hey, this band kicks ass. People should check them out. You might like them. But like the process, because I've been to comedy shows where they take your phone away, and just that whole process of locking it up, getting it unlocked later, it's annoying.
I think with comedy, it makes more sense. They don't want anybody to take their jokes and post them online. But these are songs that people already know what the songs are, Still, it was a great experience. I was glad at the end of the day that they did it because it made you watch the show. What else you got? And the only thing is if you leave your phone ringer on high and then it's locked up in that pouch and you're carrying it around and it's bleeping, blooping everywhere, it's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, you cannot turn that off.
Yeah.
Well, real quick, do you have any way to turn your mic up a little bit?
I do not, but I can talk like this.
Okay, that's cool. I like that. Yeah,
it's a great workaround. I like that.
I can talk real loud.
I am aware. I have seen you talk very loud.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned like seeing a show for the first time. I'm actually going to see Nine Inch Nails in September for the first time ever. A band that I've enjoyed since I was in 8th grade, and I'm finally seeing them.
I'm going to see them in August.
Yeah, I cannot wait for that.
Yeah, that's good. They're always, they put on a show, which is great. I like that about bands that put on a show, and they sound great. And you'll notice Trent Reznor has little buttons on his microphone that he uses to trigger different echo effects and stuff like that. It's really interesting to watch them put all that together,
And now that Atticus is an official member of Nine Inch Nails, and I'm such a big fan of the scores they've done for movies, seeing Nine Inch Nails like in that version live for my first time, I think is going to be really cool.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about this show. No, I won't spoil anything for you, but it's going to be a good show.
Does Trent Reznor whip his dick out?
Yep. You've already heard.
I heard he shaves his pube into a mohawk. Well,
I'm going to Incubus this weekend, guys. How do we feel about that? And not hard enough for you, Kevin, probably, but still.
I like Incubus. There's a few bands that aren't super heavy that slip through, and Incubus is one of them.
We're having an issue, though. One of the 4 people that we're going with can't go because of a family situation. So, and apparently me and my brothers don't have enough friends to give the 4th ticket to. That's kind of embarrassing, kind of sucks. Kevin, you're going to be down that way. Do you want to come to Incubus Saturday night?
I'm going to see Ghoul Saturday night.
Okay. You probably just said that, huh?
Will, you would like Ghoul.
Would I?
They're
not more than Incubus. Well,
they're a thrash band that has a stage presence, kind of like Gwar. Like they have characters that come out. They have costumes. Awesome. They wear burlap sacks over their head with blood on the mouth.
Yeah. I would have to go see Ghoul in that case instead of Incubus. But I will say this: after 9/11, Incubus was the first band I remember coming back into the city and doing a show. So I've always really appreciated that about them.
Yeah, stand-up guys.
Yeah,
they're not afraid of Bin Laden.
That's right. They don't let fear take the wheel and drive their lives.
Wow. Well done.
So, Will, before you and I became coworkers and friends, I used to hear your name dropped on the Stern Show, and you were, a K-Rock guy back in the day. You had a show that was on. You followed Howard?
I was on in the afternoon.
Okay, yeah.
And I would always see Howard, and I was too nervous to talk to him, so he thought I was being respectful. So he liked me because I was respectful and didn't bother him about stuff. I was just too nervous to bother him about stuff, honestly.
Dude, so was I. I worked for the show for 5 years, and every time I saw him in the hallway, and I got to sit in on like staff meetings and stuff, it never got old. I was never not starstruck. And, when he's coming in and out of the building, like, when he's leaving the office, coming into the office, he's escorted by Ronnie the limo driver, and, you're not supposed to fucking stop him and be like, hey, Howard, how was your weekend? Let me tell you about this thing I'm working on. Like, I would always just say, hi, how you doing, Howard? Keep going. The only time I ever went past that, I used to do this bit with Ronnie where I would wish him a happy birthday.
I remember. Yeah.
And it was never his birthday. And then I would make sure somebody was within earshot to hear it, so they would say happy birthday to him. He'd be like, don't listen to this fucking asshole. It's not my fucking birthday. I don't know what came over me, where I got the balls, but I did it when it was just him and Howard walking by me one day. I was just like, hey, Ronnie, happy birthday. And Howard was like, I didn't know it was your birthday, Ronnie. Happy birthday. He's like, don't fucking listen to this guy.
Well, I was on the show a couple of times, but every single time I was on the show, when I left the studio, I had no idea what had happened because my brain was scrambled the entire time. It was just such a nerve-wracking experience. But later on, every once in a while, when Howard started, hanging out with Beth, they would go walk around on the street in New York and like go do things together instead of him just like hiding in his basement. So I would see him out every once in a while, and I got invited to a few things. That was really cool because, obviously he's, the pinnacle of all of that stuff,
Yeah. I mean, just being on the air on K-Rock is that's like some Hall of Fame radio shit. Like radio nowadays is, not what it once was, which is kind of a bummer because that's what I went to school for. But like, to be able to be on the air on K-Rock, be in the Howard world, and then jump over to satellite radio, and you are the reason why there's a Los Angeles Sirius XM facility to begin with, right? You were the one that pitched that, and they sent you out there to kind of just like start to plant the seed of an LA operation.
Yeah, it was crazy because I came up with a pitch of like, hey, what if I moved to California and I started a studio there and I worked with Tony Hawk and Bam Margera and all this other stuff. And they were like, okay.
Guys, listen, LA, ever hear of it?
Yeah, exactly. If I would have asked for a helicopter or something, I think I would have gotten it. It's just weird. They just said, okay.
Yeah.
And I moved to California and just started the whole thing.
Give me a Lamborghini with Sirius XM wrap on the side, so every time I'm driving to and from work, I'm promoting it.
Huh?
But you're from Georgia, correct?
No, I grew up in the backwoods of Alabama.
Okay, but you're from the South. So
yes.
How did you end up at K-Rock?
Just falling up accidentally. I started out in Alabama, got a job offer in Tennessee, went to Atlanta from there, went to Washington, D.C., then Houston, then New York, and then Los Angeles. So I just accidentally all the time. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Just trying not to sound like the other real happy people that were on the radio, I think, just trying to be different.
I mean, that is the life of FM radio. When I was going to broadcasting school in 05 or 06, they were even saying, like, if you want radio to be your thing, be prepared, like, make peace with your God. You are going to have to move to, a low-ranked city to start. Like, you guys all live in, like, New Jersey, New York. You're going to have to fucking move. Like, you're going to have to go to, a really small market and get your start there and hope someone puts you on the air. And then when you're on the air, you're going to have to keep applying for jobs or hope you get headhunted and then slowly hop from market to market and just make sure that every time you move, you're moving to a bigger market. And that was why I was so lucky to get an internship with Howard right out of broadcasting school. Because it was just like, I'm fucking staying here in New York. I don't want to market hop.
Yeah, that's one thing you don't realize, I think, when you grow up in like New York or Los Angeles, is because I had friends that went to go intern for Saturday Night Live and Howard Stern, just all these crazy opportunities that, living in the woods in Alabama, you don't get very often, But then again, if you got to start off somewhere small, I guess I was way ahead of you there.
Yeah, you didn't have to move. It was just like, shit, it's all, everything is just going to get better from here.
Yeah, go somewhere small. I'll just stay here.
Yeah. So what made you want to get into radio?
I don't know. I'm well. When I was okay, when I was a kid, a little kid, I had a really strong Southern accent, and then a television show came on called The Dukes of Hazzard, and that show made me realize that if you have a Southern accent, people are going to just assume that you're an idiot just as soon as you start talking. So I was like, God, I don't want people to just think that about me. So I started just trying not to talk so backwoods Southern. And so people that I went to school with were all like, oh, your voice should be on the radio. And I don't know. I think that was the idea of it anyway, is that, I talk pretty. I can go on the radio.
Is the Southern accent still hiding back there? Like, do you have to consciously still not slip back into it, or is it so natural now? Like,
Yeah,
I'm assuming being back in the South, it tends to creep out a lot more than it did when you were in LA or New York.
it's in there somewhere where you'll hear it on certain words, but this is just the way I talk now. I mean, and it's the way I've talked since I was, 12. Yeah. So,
Is your inner monologue Southern?
yeah. Hi, you should not do that, Will. You're going to be in big old trouble. That's what it sounds like when I think.
What about in moments of distress? Like if you stub your toe, you're like, oh, dag nabbit.
Give yellow belly, Sam sucker. Totally.
So how did you end up going from LA back to Georgia?
Well, I had worked at a radio station, 99X in Atlanta. That was one of the first stations to start playing these weird new bands like Nirvana and Pearl Jam. And, it was very successful, but I left to go do a morning show in Washington, D.C. at DC 101, where Howard was. And I read Private Parts, and he was talking about how he prayed and prayed that the general manager there would die. And I was like, oh, that's funny. But then I got there and I realized, oh, my God, he was telling the truth.
Wait,
so
did you work with pig virus?
No. He was talking about a guy named Goff, who was the general manager of the place.
Okay.
Pig virus or vomit or whatever.
Yeah, he's vomit in the movie, but I think he's virus in real life.
Yeah, he was already gone by then. But
Okay.
a lot of the people that worked with him were still there. And it was just not a fun place to work for me. But when I was, living in Los Angeles and doing this job, which I did like, and it paid good money, but it's just a lifestyle thing. They called me and said, do you want to come back here? It's the same people. We're getting everybody back together that was here at the time. Do you want to come back and work at this radio station? It's not been done in radio before, that you get together the team that was there all those years ago.
Yeah, it's like time travel.
I was like, that's interesting. My brother lives in Mississippi. My sister lives in Atlanta. My parents are in Alabama. So there's family around, but not too close. And it just sounded like a good idea. And yeah, I mean, I cut my salary very severely, and I've never regretted it for 1 second. It's been the best decision. And you go, I had a great time when I was here in the early 90s, but you don't know if when you go back, I mean, everything's going to be different. It's not going to be as good, but everybody here is so nice. There is a place where people are nice, and it's here. It's crazy. You forget that there are still nice people that exist.
Yeah, because you were kind of cranky with some of the stuff that you were being asked to do, and the workload that just kept getting dumped on you more and more and more. So
mainly workload, yeah.
And now things are good. You're not sassafras on your way to work. You're just like whistling, and birds are landing on your shoulder and shit.
Yeah, cartoon birds. Yeah, for sure. I love it. It's awesome.
So you would never move back to LA?
I would prefer not to. What? Well, you got something going on?
Oh, dude, no. I'm about to ask you if your fucking radio station's hiring and needs a janitor.
We need a guy who knows a lot about poop and mayonnaise.
Yeah, do you guys need a poop intern? How are your neighbors? Because in LA, you had some whole saga. I don't even fully remember all of it, but I know that there was like, it involved some woman and she was like dating a little person and the little person tried to fight you.
I didn't know it was a little person, and I was just talking to my neighbor, who was a girl. Nothing more than that. Just talked to her, and this guy drives up in a truck, one of these big old jacked up trucks, and he was like, hey, "Who do you think you're talking to?" Starting trouble with me. I'm like, "Dude, I'm just talking," And he opens his door and jumps out, and he's like 3 feet tall. That was just such a shocker.
Was he a legitimate dwarf, or was he just like a short man?
I don't know what the proper scientific medical term is, but
dwarf is acceptable. That's PC. I'm pretty
I'll
sure.
just say this: his upper body was regular, but
Okay.
when he jumped out of that truck, he was like 3 feet tall.
So he was just.
So he had little legs?
Yeah, very short.
Was
legs.
he like that guy in those infomercials, like Dorf Goes Golfing? He just had like knees with
Cotton
shoes on
Hill.
him.
Cotton Hill, who lost his legs below the knees.
Yes, he's Dorf on golf. That's the guy that jumped out of a monster truck.
If it came down to it, do you think you could have whipped his ass?
I mean, there's not a lot of people I can say that about, but I'd feel pretty confident in that one. Yeah.
You held your own against Kevin.
Will won. Will beat me. So you beat my ass.
Did it go to the judges?
No.
It did.
No. I think I think it was a TKO in the second round.
Second round, yeah.
Because the whole thing was
you had to get through the first round.
Yeah, they were like Will's going to beat your ass in this boxing match, and I'm like, yeah, probably, but I think I'm going to do okay. And they were like, you're not making it past the first round, and I was very confident that I would. So a bet was involved that if I lost in the first round, I was going to have to eat onion rings off of some dude's boner. And
oh my God.
When I agreed to the terms, every match outside of the main event where like the pros are fighting has been, they're 2-minute rounds. All of a sudden, the first round of mine and Will's match became 5 minutes and all the other ones were 2 minutes. 5 minutes is a fucking long time for two amateurs. I don't even think we qualify as amateurs.
And I'll tell you this, to be honest, I would have completely passed out any second when Kevin went down. I was done. I could not breathe anymore.
I was fucked up. I was barely even able to get some nookie that night. Actually, I don't think I did. I think I was in too much pain.
Kevin, you punched the snot out of me, literally.
That was funny. That I will admit, that fucked me up. When I punched you in the face and then I saw a boogie fly out and land on your cheek, I was like, and then like that almost made me eat fucking boner onion rings right there.
As they say.
So
are you a good boxer? Like, why were they so confident that you were going to just beat Kevin's ass?
I just have the weight on him and reach. I think are we about the same size, Kevin? Tall.
I'm like 5'10".
Yeah, I'm 5'10", 5'11", something like that. So,
but it's also Kevin.
Yeah,
well, that's true. But like, I don't know. I've only seen your head, Will Pendarvis, so I'm not really gonna assume any athletic ability one way or the other. But
I am a fitness model.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Will's also very surprisingly flexible. Like Will can do a karate kick and his knee will get like right in line with his nose.
I just don't. You're a radio producer, right? That's your. Well, I guess what I'm saying is I don't think radio producer and boxing expert really go hand in hand. I wouldn't assume that you just beat people's asses.
I was
the best part about
Kevin.
The best part about this is that Jeff was in the. Oh no, Jeff ended up missing the fight.
Oh
yeah, where was I?
I don't know. Were you just like fucked up in a dumpster somewhere?
I think you got tickets, and then I think you were doing extracurricular activities and ended up not showing up. But you were at that Alice Mania. The three of us were all there. because I was the corner man for Kevin, and you were supposed to be in the crowd.
Uh, well, I didn't want to see Will beat Kevin's ass.
Yeah.
You were off being a degenerate somewhere, probably gambling.
Damn right.
I do think about that. I was telling somebody the other day, I was talking about just weird things that I've done because, like I said, I grew up in the woods in Alabama. I was supposed to be living in a trailer right now, working at a machine shop, but all this weird stuff happened to me in my life. Like I was a monk in another life or something, and now I've got all this crazy stuff I've been able to do. I was like, saying, yeah, I've had lunch at the White House, and I was at a boxing match in Vegas, and they were like, wait, what? The boxing match is the one that threw them off.
Yeah, I feel like you and I will, like, we don't live in mansions, but we're kind of like maybe a tiny bit smarter Forrest Gumps. Like, we've just led these really weird lives, and it's like, wait a second, you've done what? They're like, yeah,
I know.
You wouldn't believe it, but yeah, we've done some pretty fucked up shit.
Yeah, I mean, in a good way.
Yeah,
I mean, and in a bad way, but also a good way.
Yeah, I mean, do you have what? So I know your professional life has improved vastly, and you're much happier there. What about your neighbors? Do you have any crazy neighbors jumping out of trucks, threatening you?
I'm gonna knock wood, but not yet. You can get a lot more apartment for your money here. So I have 2 bedrooms and an office, and I don't ever hear my neighbors. That's the crazy part. I mean, and at my old apartment, I could hear them breathing.
Dude, in your old apartment, you had a hole in your shower that went to the street.
That's true. There was a window that was about waist high in my shower that would not close. So it was just an open hole that you could easily topple out of at any moment.
Yeah, you got to make sure Jeff doesn't leave any of his banana peels in your shower. You're fucking going out.
That'd be a terrible way to go.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what happened to Crash Darby.
Maybe.
He didn't kill himself. He fell out of your shower hole.
Oh, we can make that documentary. Maybe it's your next film.
Yeah, maybe. All right, let's see. Let's go to some questions that some listeners asked. So, Michael wants to know if you could say the most difficult celebrity guest you ever had to work with.
I will say that is what's that guy from Blur? He was.
Is he the guy in Gorillaz?
Yeah. Damon something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Okay. So he had just broken up with his model girlfriend when I encountered him.
Oh, boo-hoo.
And also he had this thing in the press where he said, "Oh, we wouldn't be so successful if we weren't so good looking." So, they were like, "Dude, whatever you do, don't mention the girlfriend. Just stay away from anything with a girlfriend." So I went in to interview him and I said, I read this quote where maybe it's not even a real quote, where it said you wouldn't be so successful if you weren't so good looking. And he said, "Well, you're hideously ugly. So why don't you tell me what that's like?" And I said, "Well, at least I have a girlfriend."
Oh,
and then the interview was over. The end.
Was that live on the air?
No, it was recorded. I don't know if it ever made the air. Probably not.
Damn. That would have been a good one to just like have on a thumb drive somewhere and just be like,
everybody's face turned, all the record people and his management and all that, just faces just turned white.
Did any of them like give you shit afterwards, or did everybody just leave with them?
Nah, you know what? I don't remember getting in trouble for it. I don't remember.
Because I booked somebody on, we'll just leave it loosely, a show once, and it went catastrophically bad, like Hall of Fame bad, to the point where that person's rep, who was a powerhouse, wrote me like a 4-paragraph email just chewing me the fuck out, saying, "You are blacklisted. None of my clients will ever be on that show. I'm going
I
to reach out all
know.
around town, and I'm telling everybody to not let their clients do your show. I was like, oh,
It's got to be one of two people, and both of them are comedians.
yeah. Yeah.
Was it a male or female?
Female.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah. So you know who it is.
yeah, I do.
Damn, I want to know.
I know these fucking inside jokes they've got, Jeff. Just Kevin's
believe
leaving
me.
us in the dust. We're about to be fucking shit canned.
But
Yeah.
once
Replaced.
once this show posts, check YouTube within 5 minutes because everybody's going to guess it.
Yeah, no, it was epically bad,
Yeah.
and for really nobody's.
It did not have to happen.
No, it didn't. No reason. It just went really bad, really fast.
Yep. Herb wants to know if you've forgiven Andrew for farting in the green room. More
no,
inside jokes.
because when it is about character, when it's about respect, it goes past farting.
Yeah. Plus, that one
Gone.
really, really stunk.
Yeah.
All
Dude,
right.
I'm not that guy. I'm not. Look, I was raised in the South. I'm polite. Go outside. I make it nobody's business but mine. I just take care of things. Okay?
Yeah. At least take like an empty toilet paper tube and stuff it with dryer sheets and fart into that.
Yeah. Or, use your fart towel as you do.
There's not a part of you that gets pleasure from stinking up a room with other people in it.
Yeah, that's you. That's a you thing.
Fair enough. I'm not from the South, so.
Chris wants to know when bits used to get too vulgar, you would leave the studio, and he wants to know if that's because you were legitimately uncomfortable or if you were nervous that could get you in corporate trouble.
No, it's because in general, I don't like dirty comedy. I like funny things, not dirty just to be dirty. Like sometimes, I'm sure like Saturday Night Live will go through a phase of where, we're going to be dirty, but not funny. There's no point to that, If it's just dirty to be dirty, I don't have any use for it. I really don't.
Well, shit, I really regret sending you a private link to watch The Second Coming of John Cooper now.
No, that was hilarious. Come on.
Oh, thank you.
I told you, man. I told you what your next project has to be, but whatever.
I know. I just don't think I don't think the world's ready for that yet.
Okay.
What is it?
Inside jokes. That's
No.
two now. That's two.
You could tell him.
Kevin's life story.
Oh, a biopic.
What I mean, look,
Who would play him?
Tilda
that's
Swinton.
a great question. Yeah, that's a good one.
Timothy Chalamet. Duh.
Shiloh LaBeouf. I don't know, but the thing is, I told that to Kevin. He emailed me back. I was like, "Well, I'm not famous. Why would anybody want to watch?" I'm like, "Dude, most movies are not about famous people. They're just good movies. Just make a good movie. You've got so many stories of all this weird, epic stuff you've done in your life. But
you do too.
Yeah, but you're the guy. I don't make movies, or I'd make a movie about me.
Write your memoirs. Write your memoirs, and I'll turn it into a screenplay. Because you've done cooler shit than me. I've never been to the White House.
You've done weirder stuff, though. You've
Uh,
done more entertaining things.
Yeah, but they're small things.
I'm just
Either
saying.
way.
I like this idea. Will. I co-sign it.
Cool. Awesome. I love that idea. I think it's great. I told him, watch that movie, Friendship. I love that movie. Halfway through it, I was like, this is one of my favorite movies. I loved it. But I'm just like, watch that movie because that's not a movie about a famous guy, but it's interesting and funny and weird,
I will say, you have been hounding me to watch that movie, so I finally did. I was kind of like trying to wait for it to end up on a streamer, but my lady had some digital credits on her Prime account, so we just rented it and got like a discount. And about 15 minutes into that movie, I was like, I feel like I am kind of watching my own biopic right now, because that's how I feel when I'm in social situations. I don't know how to act. I'm like, in my brain, I'm like, Just don't embarrass yourself. Don't say something stupid. Don't say something stupid. You say funny stuff on your podcast for a living. Just channel that. And then I open my fucking stupid mouth and some jerk off thing comes out and then everybody looks at me like I'm a fucking asshole. And then I got to walk out and be like, all right, well, I just lost all those friends.
Well, no spoilers, but there's a scene in the movie where he puts a bar of soap in his mouth as a joke. And it's just not working. It's not. There's nothing funny about it. Nobody's laughing. And that's the kind of thing that I see you doing, where you're like going for the joke and you're not stopping and nobody's laughing.
Yeah, that's what I was like. This is too goddamn real. I am so uncomfortable. I feel like someone's holding a mirror up to me right now.
Yeah.
But I will say that movie, it is a great, great movie. Outside of the silliness and the weirdness, it's shot so well. Like the cinematography is incredible. The way it's even like colored, like the color correction on it is like the score.
That's the thing I love about it the most is the color correction.
Well, it was like when they go into the sewers and it's all lit up red. Like the way I don't know, they did more for that movie than they needed to. They went above and beyond, and
True.
I think the score was incredible. And just like Paul Rudd playing the straight man to Tim Robinson's just insane lunatic character. I was also surprised that he didn't write that movie.
Yeah, but it was written for him and written by a good friend of his. So
that makes sense then.
Yeah.
Because it did seem so much like him. Like I haven't watched a ton of his stuff, but everything I have seen, I have greatly enjoyed.
I watch everything that he does. I think he's just super genius. But and I don't like anything that I've seen like one movie and one TV series that I've liked in the past year. I'm watching body cam videos constantly. That's what I'm addicted to.
Have you? I was thinking about that because you never reach out and tell me, Kevin, you have to watch this movie.
Right.
And I was like, what are some other movies that would be right up Will's alley? Did you see that movie, The Monkey, that came out this year? The horror movie?
I was busy watching body cam videos on YouTube.
You should take a body cam footage wormhole break and watch The Monkey because it's like Friendship if it was like a true horror movie. It is bizarre. It's incredibly weird.
Weird is my thing. I like weird.
You would like The Monkey. Not a lot of people did. I feel like every time I bring it up, I'm in the minority, but I think The Monkey was excellent, and I think you would really like it.
Well, once you've been addicted to body cam videos and you live off the juice of reality for a while, it's hard to watch something that somebody wrote because, truth is stranger than fiction, and you see the weirdest things in the universe, So I will watch it. I will. Because I also give TV shows a chance, and I'll watch an episode or two of different shows that people tell me to watch. But I always go right back to the body cam videos, my friend.
I mean, that's always kind of been your jam. Like, you always had the Citizens app and, like, the police scanner active. You always had an ear to the streets, Will.
I like to know what's going on in the neighborhood, but now I'm just watching it out of pure, like, I want to see justice served.
I mean, you were kind of the one doling it out. You were like a Hollywood Batman. Have you continued your crime fighting in Georgia? Like, are you now like the Atlanta?
There's no need. Body cam videos, YouTube, man. I mean, they've got better car chases than the French Connection, And you see the dumb stuff that people do. And I honestly, I think it's part of your problem. I don't know if it is or not, because look, I've had friends who are cops in various cities that I've lived in, except for Los Angeles, because there's something in the water in LA, whatever they got down at the precinct that they're drinking, that makes most of those people unfriendly, let's say. But man, you watch enough cop videos on YouTube and you start to see what these guys, it's a tough job, man. Not only do you have to scrape people up off the highway or whatever. That's not my favorite kind of video to watch. But people are people will just spit on you and just say things that any normal person would have to punch them, but man, you got to be reserved. You got to like not do that stuff. I mean, it's crazy what those people go through. It really is.
Yeah, and I can only like the things you see in LA. Like, I mean, a lot of times, some guy is on a rampage and he probably has shit in his pants. Now you got to arrest some guy who's got shit in his pants.
Happens all the time.
Yeah.
People are pooping and peeing on themselves constantly, apparently.
Well, speaking of, Tim asks, what do you miss most about LA?
Poop and pee. I don't know, because honestly, what I've found out about living in any city is it could be Paris, or it could be Oxford, Mississippi. Generally, you're going to do the same stuff. You're going to maybe go out to dinner. You might go see a movie, but most of your time you're probably going to be on your couch. So it's very rare that you actually go out, like if you live in New York, and go look at the Statue of Liberty. So wherever you live, you're pretty much going to do the same stuff. And the one thing I don't miss about LA most is just the people constantly wanting something from you, wanting money, cigarettes. Hey, can I borrow your phone, or what? Just people bothering you for things constantly.
Nobody tries to bum ciggies off you in Atlanta?
Nah, doesn't happen.
By the way, Will, I find out
I'm in a car going 80 miles an hour, so it don't matter.
August 2nd, I find out if John Cooper made it into an Atlanta film festival.
Oh, man, I am praying for that to happen. That would be awesome.
And if it gets in, I'm coming out. So it's September 26th is the date of the festival.
Please let me know as soon as you find out.
I will.
I told you this, and it's true. Look, I've seen a lot of, movies that people have made, just people, not some big movie company or whatever. And, some of them are good. A lot of them are not good. But John Cooper was so much better than I could have ever imagined. And not because it's you, because it's like a guy making a movie.
Oh, thanks, man.
It's really, I was blown away by it. I've only done this a few times in my life. I watched it 2 times in a row. I've only done that with Apocalypse Now, Casino, and Goodfellas.
Oh, those turds.
Oh, yeah. really light fare to watch back to fucking rapid fire. Jesus.
It was so good. So, yeah, I mean, I just really like that movie, man.
Well, thank you.
You did a great job. Really good job.
I'm reaching the point now where I was kind of thinking about like waiting to see if I could ride out the rest of these like few festivals that I'm waiting to hear back on. The American Film Market is in November, and I've been trying to talk to some people about, getting a rep to bring it there. And it's at the point now where like I feel like my team has kind of like checked out and moved on to other projects. Thomas actually hooked me up with a producer buddy who's just like, out of the goodness of his own heart, has just been like taking it to people, and it just, nobody really wants comedies right now. So I'm thinking like I got to get somebody with a little bit more wherewithal on the phone this week to run this by. But I've been thinking about like, just, what? Let's just fuck it. It's been too long. The movie's been done for too long. Let's just put it up for rental and digital purchase. Let's put it up on Prime, put it up on Apple, put it up on, Vudu, and promote the fuck out of it. Just like call in every favor I have, talk to, Dustin and some of the other people that were in the movie, and be like, just this week, get yourself booked on a podcast and just blast the fuck out of it and see if, because that does move the needle. If you get a movie that goes straight to Prime, like rentals, and it like skyrockets, like streamers will take notice. Like that data goes out, and someone will be like, wait, what's this weird little indie comedy that's doing a lot here? Maybe
that's not the worst idea ever, because thinking about it in music terms, if you make an album and few people have heard it, I mean, the thing that you really, really want to do more than anything is just get it in front of as many people as possible.
Yeah,
because that's what starts the whole process. So yeah, getting in front of people, that's where you need to be. Just streaming somewhere where people can watch it. Come on.
As a star of the film, I will commit right now to going on some podcasts to promote it if that's necessary.
Yeah,
Jeff, will you do the same?
Absolutely. I'll go on every podcast that'll have me.
call
There
Mark
we go.
Maron. Get on before he retires officially.
There we go. Look, you already got 2 people on 2 different podcasts.
It's already started.
Yep.
Jeff,
the
you
word
do
out.
Rogan, I'll do Marin, okay?
Yeah, I can put up with Rogan for 4 hours. Smoke some cigars, talk some shit. You know, I love conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Hey, is an alien ever fucking probe your ass? Dude, the movie played in Japan this past week.
Really? You have
Yeah.
pictures of that?
A couple. So I got hit up by somebody from the Puminati who lives in Tokyo.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah. Wild, right?
Fucking sweet.
Flew from Tokyo to Karatsu in the Saga Prefecture in southern Japan, and just to see the movie. And I kind of want to see if I can get him on Zoom to talk about it, because he said, like, there actually were, a decent amount of people in the theater, including some elderly couples. Which,
Maybe like, Jerry Lewis was to France, you are to Japan.
that would be very cool. I do love
Maybe
Japan.
You're a huge star in Japan and don't even know it.
Yeah, like the David Hasselhoff of Japan.
Yeah.
Nothing would make me happier. I mean, I love Japan. I would have found a way to go out there for this screening, but it's, getting there from LA is like a 33-hour ordeal, very expensive, and
A lot of yen.
I would have to go by myself, and it wasn't feasible. But it was very cool that somebody from our audience got to go to that theater and see it.
I didn't know we had any Puminati in Asia.
We got one.
Now
That's rad.
You got to find your German Puminati, which certainly there will be, and your England Puminati person. Find those people.
We do.
And get this thing worldwide.
Well,
we got some.
We have a Norwegian, and we do have a New Zealand. Well, we did have a New Zealander. I don't know if they still listen.
Yeah, Shuddy might have pissed them off and they bounced. But
It happened.
yeah, it was very cool to hear that the jokes landed. Apparently the audience dug it.
So was it dubbed?
No, so I'm
so confused.
So one of the things I've never had this happen with the festival before, but they hit me up and they were like, "Hey, so you're not an official selection yet, but you're in the running. So to make it to the next phase, we need an SRT file with English captions." So I found a company that does it. I paid a little extra to make it not AI, because I hate AI.
Yeah.
And they got me the file, and I watched the movie because I wanted to make sure everything was right. And there were a decent amount of errors, like they didn't know Grundle. So when Grundle was said in the movie, spoiler alert, it put in brackets inaudible. And I kind of had to learn on the fly how to edit subtitles, but I went through and I made the changes so everything was accurate. I sent them the file, and then they converted all of that to Japanese. So I think it screened with English and Japanese subtitles.
They've most certainly never heard of a micro Grundle then, right?
No, not until fucking Jeff.
I'm very nervous that I have a micro grundle. I have one of 3 micro grundles in the world.
It's almost like his nutsack is attached to his asshole. That's how small his grundle is.
Can you imagine if you let AI do that and then somebody else converted it to Japanese? There's just no telling what these people are saying. In this
I know.
movie.
I can only imagine. So I've been to Japan a handful of times, and I became friends with this guy who does tattoos there. I even got a tattoo from him, and I tried to see if he could make it out there. And it's a fucking long trip from Tokyo, and it's not an easy one either. And he couldn't make it, but he speaks and writes and reads fluent Japanese. So it would have been interesting to be like, so how accurate were the Japanese subtitles? And
Right.
maybe the Puminati guy knows that as well. But enough about me, Will. Let's talk about us. That animation that you and I worked on years ago, that's actually probably coming up on close to sitting around for 10 years.
Yeah, and that's really cool too. It's a great concept, the whole thing.
That is finally going to see the light.
Where? How? When?
So I did a film festival in Austin recently, and I met this dude, Christian, who's a filmmaker, and dude's cool as hell. We hit it off. I accidentally thought he was a listener of the podcast, and turns out he wasn't, so that was very embarrassing. I felt like fucking Tim Robinson in that moment.
Right.
I put
This
soap.
is one of those. This story is so great because he thanked him for coming all the way to the film festival to see the second coming of John Cooper, only to find out that Christian had a film in the festival, and that's why.
Yeah, he's from Canada.
He just happened to check out Kevin's screening. Like, it was nothing.
In all fairness, though, when the movie screened at an LA film festival, people did fly in from Canada to see it. So I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. It's happened again. And then, yeah, I'm like Tim Robinson trying to shove soap in my mouth to distract from how much of a stupid asshole I am. But we hit it off, and I was like, you know what, dude, he does everything. He can do it all, and I think his day job is doing a lot of post-production stuff. And I was like, I have this animation that I've been sitting on for years, because you and I did the storyboards together. Your son did the voiceover for it, and then
we did all the Foley for it.
Will and I went to Ralph's and bought like $80 worth of groceries. And we're like, we're going to do the Foley ourselves. And for people that don't know, Foley is like all the sound effects. So like in a movie, when somebody is walking, when their keys jingle, all of that stuff is added in post. It goes to a Foley house, and they have people just with these big open studios. It kind of seems like the most fun job in the world, where there are like gravel patches, and they mic their feet up and they walk through it, and they jingle keys into microphones.
And this animation had a lot of bone crunching in it.
Yeah. So Will and I took my podcast equipment, and we spent hours in my apartment fucking stabbing fruit, breaking things, did this whole Foley thing. I take the SD card out and I go to edit it. Everything recorded so quietly that I had to boost the fuck out of it, and then all you heard was room noise. So all of it was completely unusable.
We had fun with those vegetables, though.
We did. And then that was like such a roadblock, and then things got busy, and it just sat in the back burner, and I was like, how the fuck am I going to get these sound effects? It sounds expensive. So I ran it by that guy, Christian, and he came on as the post-producer, and he got a team of people to do the Foley. We got somebody who's going to start working on the score in 6 days. That's the final thing. He made credits. We have an intro animation that sets it up. And once the score is done, he's mixing it all down, and that short is finally going to see the light of day. I'm just putting it up on YouTube for free.
That makes me think of how many things are out there that are really great that people have made that nobody ever sees.
Yeah.
I used to do A&R for a record label, and I would go see an amazing band that just blew me away, made me, cry tears of joy at seeing them. And just the most heartbreaking thing was knowing that nobody would ever hear this band, because they don't sound like, Lady Gaga enough or whatever,
Well, I mean, that is one of the few positives about the state of entertainment today is, when I was younger, there was no YouTube. There was, streaming video on the internet was like, it was like watching footage from a Game Boy. It was slow and choppy and pixelated and shitty.
Podcasting, man.
Yeah, podcasting was unheard of, but now, I feel like it's mostly used for hip hop, but like, SoundCloud, if you got something and labels are not interested, you can put it out there, and you do need lightning to strike. You do need a winning lottery ticket for it to catch fire, but there are ways around that now. If you're a filmmaker, these phones have incredible cameras on them. They have built-in editing software. All you need to do is get some tripods, get a gimbal, get a lavalier mic, so the audio is good, and you can make your own shorts. You can put them up on YouTube. That's also tough. I made a short film. I put it up on YouTube. I even have a platform to promote it, and fucking nobody watched it.
Hey, but but you needed lightning to strike anyway in the olden days as well, to get in front of the right person who's going to sign you to a label or whatever. But you got more of a chance. And now maybe if one person hears your song and really connects to it, at least you've done that instead of just nobody ever hearing it. And it feels like we're in kind of the punk rock 1977 phase of all of this media and everybody being able to, the Sex Pistols are playing on stage and people are, Billy Idol and Susie and the Banshees are at the shows going, hey, wait a minute, we don't have to really know what we're doing. We could just get up there and do it. And they did. And the ripple effect of all that, it's really an amazing and free time to do all that stuff.
Speaking of concerts, Will, I'm sure you remember the Mighty Boognish, a.k.a. Little Miss Jason Ellis.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to know if you're going to see Primus.
I am.
A question that will be relevant
show...
in this interview for years.
I think that show here is on the 25th, I want to say. Yes, and I'm giving away tickets to Primus all this week on my show.
All you have to do is hold your Wii for a Wii.
No. I think it's caller 9 or something very less dangerous than that. Yeah.
Speaking of, one last question from the audience. Rob wants to know why you haven't started a podcast yet or an OnlyFans for your shins.
I thought about doing something where it's just my feet stepping on birthday cakes. But
whoa,
untapped market.
Yeah, see, that's hot, right? But now I don't, as you can tell from if you're still here, anybody, I don't really have anything to talk about. I don't have anything to say. Nobody's interested. I would talk about police body cam footage. That's what my show would be.
That's I know you're saying that in a joking manner, but in a very non-joking manner, that is something. Because, okay, kind of long-winded, but, we've been doing this podcast, like I said, for about 15 years. We started doing it when podcasts were still relatively new, and they weren't about things. So now every podcast is like, oh, this is a podcast that fucking ranks Doritos. Like,
need a theme.
Yeah, when people ask, hey, what's your podcast? Like, you have a podcast? What's it about? It's like, what's it about? It's a fucking talk show. What? Like, it was a question I never anticipated being asked. So now, on our Patreon, we do specialty shows, and people fucking love them. Like, it sounds like a formula that would not work, but every week we watch MasterChef and do MasterChef recap episodes, and it might be the best thing we've ever done, and people lose their shit over it. I think
That's
Will
awesome.
Pendarvis reviewing body cam footage and talking about it is a winning formula.
You learn so much, though. You not only the human condition, but you also learn about like laws and what you should do. Because that's what I always thought your problem was, Kevin. I thought you never knew how to interact with police, and that's what messed you up. Yeah, honestly.
I always tried to suck my dick out of every ticket I ever got. It never worked.
No, look, LA's different, but almost anywhere in the United States, most cops are going to match your energy. If you're a jerk, they're going to be a jerk right
Wait
back
a second.
to you.
When have you ever seen me be a jerk to a cop?
No, I don't know what's going on. I've not been there when you've been confronted by a cop for your jaywalking ways.
Oh, dude, that was what made those tickets sting even more, is I was completely reserved and calm and respectful for the whole thing. And I'm like, still? I didn't fucking do a damn thing, and you fucking still gave me a jaywalking ticket? God damn it.
Again, LA cops are way different than any other cops in the world. Look, I've had bad experiences with cops too. I had one cop. My wheel went up on the sidewalk by 1 inch when I was trying to move around somebody. This guy gave me 17 tickets. 17. Oh. I was put in the back of a police car in handcuffs. I've had cops draw guns on me, all kinds of stuff.
Wait, why did they draw guns on you?
That's a great question because I was walking down the sidewalk, Kevin. That's what I was doing. I was walking down the sidewalk.
Didn't you get a ticket one time because you threw out a candy wrapper and the wind blew it out of a trash can?
I ripped up a receipt. I threw it into the garbage can, and one of the little pieces went whoop, whoop, whoop down to the sidewalk. And he wanted to give me a ticket for throwing something into a roadway.
Oh,
this is Los Angeles. That's the way they all act in Los Angeles. But I'm telling you, anywhere else, I mean, to just match your energy. If you're like, what's your badge number? I want to talk to your supervisor. You're not going to have a good experience, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, I never fucking pulled any of that shit. I know how that goes. I raise my voice. I change my tone one tiny little bit. They're beating the shit out of me. I know how that story ends.
No, they'll get
How awesome!
Now.
How awesome would that body cam footage be, though?
Oh yeah, I'd pay for that.
Yeah, you found the first episode of your podcast.
Hey, Kevin, why don't you hook up some GoPros to your car and then go running around flipping off LAPD everywhere you go? And, man, you would have a great movie.
Yeah, I will feed. You give me 50% of your podcast revenue, and we're done. Be like, all right, here's episode 2 of Ellen DeGeneres gets her ass whooped by LAPD.
Imagine if you can get IMDb credits for body cam footage.
Maybe.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
If it's feature length.
Will and I would have agents.
Totally. Totally.
Well, Will, I'm very glad to hear that things are going awesome for you.
Look, it's very cheesy to say, I know, but I will tell you, and it's maybe not appropriate for a podcast that if somebody asked me, if I was on your show, somebody would ask me, what's your podcast about? I would say mayonnaise and poop. But
yeah, well,
maybe this isn't appropriate for your show, but I will say it. I am so grateful for this insane life that I've been able to live because I don't deserve. I've had some really bad, dark times, but I've had this amazing opportunities to do the craziest things that I should have never been able to do in my life, and I'm so grateful for that. It's amazing. I don't know why it's happening. I'm scared.
I do this. You know what? Sometimes when I'm down and out, and I'm like, fuck, man, I feel like every time I was presented with a fork in the road, I chose the wrong fucking path. I did the wrong thing. Like, how am I?
That has made all the difference.
How am I middle-aged and I'm still here? How have I not progressed past this? But then it's just like, you know what? That hasn't made me money, but I've been able to do some cool shit.
You've made an animated thing. You've made a movie. You worked with some of the biggest people in that industry. You've done all kinds of stuff, man, that nobody gets to do.
You're rich in experience.
Yeah. And I wish I could pay my rent and experience as well.
You've got gold in the morning sun and silver in the stars, Kevin.
Is that a crack about my hair going gray?
Yep.
All right.
You caught on. Yep, you got it.
All right. Well, I will keep it more on theme with what you thought this podcast was then, Will. Who do you think has the worst butthole out of me, Shuddy Boy, and Jeff?
Man, that is tough.
Yeah.
Because, I know a little bit more about yours, but I mean, look.
I have a micro grundle.
I'm going to go with Jeff. I'm going with Jeff.
Yeah, it does kind of seem
honored.
like there's
I'm honored to win that one.
Worst butthole award.
The worst butthole plaque.
Well, Will, every time we have somebody on, we like to shoot the shit. We like to ask you some questions, but we also like to pull you into our world and play some games. And back when we worked together, you had to put together a decent amount of games. So I felt like it would be fun where you get to join us and just play a game. You get to be a contestant.
Do I get to win anything?
You can have Jeff's worst butthole plaque back.
Yeah.
Jeff will send you a picture of his butthole.
I'm good. I don't need any. I'm good. I'm good, dude. I don't need to win anything. It's just the fun of the game. That's why I play.
It is, yeah.
Bragging rights.
Yeah.
So we're going to play a game that Shuddy Boy put together. We haven't played it in a while, but it's a good one. And it is called...
It's time for IMDboner. Boner.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, IMDboner And this is a movie trivia game, Will.
We're not going to be looking at pictures, are we?
No. There's no pictures of this.
Good.
Shuddy Boy goes to the parental advisory section of IMDb and pulls things that would make a film explicit. So we have to guess what the film is based on the clues of...
Specifically, the IMDb descriptions of the sex and nudity in a film.
Yeah, I mean, because they always put the thing contains cigarette smoking and anal leakage. All that stuff. Yeah.
Or some of them are like a man and woman French kiss. It's like, oh, I was okay with the topless part, but no Frenching.
Right.
My kids will not be watching this.
So it's been a while since we've played this, and there wasn't all that much structure. I was considering today if we do this in like Doug Loves Movie style Leonard Maltin rules, where I tell you guys how many things in the sex and nudity there are, and then whoever says they can guess it in the fewest gets that number of clues and then has to try and guess, or just keep it where I just read them until somebody gets it.
Well, we won't know, what the movie is, so that would that could affect our bidding.
Why don't we buzz in when we know it?
Okay, that's what we'll do. That's how we used to play it, Will. I just
All right.
was throwing a wrinkle in. So,
I thought we just shot him out.
according to the Parent's Guide on IMDb, this film has moderate sex and nudity. So, there are multiple sexual references.
All right, I know it's not Bambi.
A teenager mimics smacking a friend's butt, comedic and not graphic.
Some fanny slapping. All right.
A man tells a joke regarding going and coming with ladies.
Oh, super bad.
Yep, you got it, Kevin.
Damn it.
Wow, how did you do that?
I've seen super bad like a million times. That's a McLovin joke, right? I think McLovin says that.
So Kevin has 1 point.
I don't think there was any nudity in that one, though.
Yeah, but
Not
things
that it
of a
matters.
sexual nature.
I will say it does have one of my favorite lines of references to boobs when he says, "I have to go and catch a glimpse of those warlocks."
Yeah, I've used warlocks a few times because of that. That is a great name for titties.
Okay, the next film. This one, according to the Parent's Guide, is severe.
Uh-oh.
A few scenes are censored with a black box to avoid an NC-17 rating.
Brown bunny. I don't know the
A
name.
man makes a hand gesture that references to oral sex. He also gestures to ejaculation and semen.
Oh, Borat. Fuck.
Many strong innuendos and references, generally of the homosexual variety.
Bruno.
Oh,
You
damn
got
it.
it, Kevin.
Oh,
I was
wow.
struggling to come up with it. I knew it was the other Sacha Baron Cohen character. Fuck.
Dude, I have this history of, when my family is all together on vacations and stuff, like if it's ever a rainy day, we will usually be like, all right, well, can't go to the beach or do anything outside. Let's all go see a movie. Or when I'm home for Christmas, and we always pick the most awkward movies to sit through, like Wolf of Wall Street. In the first 90 seconds, Leo is blowing cocaine up a stripper's butt. And then Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Ugh, some fun scenes in that to sit next to your mom and sister through. But I don't know how we ended up in a theater to see Bruno, but we went with my old school conservative grandpa, and there's a part where a penis in stop motion wiggles around, aims right at the camera, and then the pee hole goes, Bruno! And he just went, that's it! I'll be outside! And my grandpa just stood up in the middle of the theater and walked right out.
That's awesome. That's an accomplishment right there.
Yeah.
All right. This next one is considered mild. A
Shuddy fell
helicopter
asleep.
pilot following a moving car mentions that a woman has her head in the male driver's lap.
Austin Powers? I don't know. I've never seen that movie. I think it has a helicopter in it, though.
I was trying to give Jeff a chance here.
I think, dude, you cut out on me for what did it say?
Repeat it for
A
Jeff.
helicopter pilot following a moving car mentions that a woman has her head in the male driver's lap.
You know this one.
No, I don't.
Oh, it's True Lies.
Give me one more. Give me one. Oh man.
Bill
Jeff,
Paxton
I
and Jamie
don't
Lee
know.
Curtis.
Dude, I was randomly thinking about that movie the other day because Bill Paxton has one of the most unhinged lines in the history of movies in that, where he tells Arnold Schwarzenegger that Jamie Lee Curtis, who's Arnold's wife in the movie, but he doesn't know this, has an ass like a 12-year-old boy. And I just randomly thought about it like on the treadmill and was just laughing. It was it's fucking ridiculous line in a movie ever.
Oh, Bill Paxton, I love your sexy talk.
She's got an ass like a 12-year-old boy. It's like, fuck, dude.
Is that in the parental advisory section, that line?
Yeah, so good.
Man tells another man that his wife has an ass like a 12-year-old boy.
She has the ass like a 12-year-old boy.
That's mentioned about his character is that Simon mentions that a nice car is a way to get pussy, and he mentions that the vet gets them wet.
He's got so many good lines in that movie.
He is a Hall of Fame slimeball in that movie. It is so fucking funny.
Okay, this next one is going to be a little bit more difficult.
Kevin, did you hit the first three in this?
He did.
Yeah.
Fuck.
A man and a woman disrobe and place comically large condoms over their entire bodies to practice safe sex. No nudity.
All right.
Kevin's already got it. I have no idea.
Really?
I feel like I haven't seen this movie based on how quickly you picked up on it, Kevin.
I would say both of you have seen this movie. Easily.
I mean, that has been in several movies, to be fair.
Women's buttocks are briefly shown in a locker room as they flee from the camera in the intro.
Come on. Both of you guys are going to be so bummed out.
Statues are anatomically correct with penises and breasts. A man slips while scaling a building and grabs one of the statue's penises, and it is shown smiling in the next scene.
And then
I feel like I've never seen this movie before.
And then he accidentally grabs a real set of boobs with cartoon sound effects going honk 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 honk.
Is it Naked Gun?
Yes.
Oh man, I haven't.
There we go.
I pretty much have never seen that movie.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
When I did, I was like, I think I was younger than 10 years old.
That's probably when
I can't count it.
Dude,
Is that new version out? Has anybody seen that? Is that terrible?
It's not out yet. It looks great. I'm gonna go see it. It looks fun.
It looks like it follows along with all the police squad and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I think it'll be good.
Especially
you got Liam Neeson doing it, so you know.
Which could work. I mean, Leslie Nielsen was a very serious actor before doing that silly role.
It's the same thing. I mean, I don't think Nielsen was as known as Liam Neeson, but you know, still serious actor, you know, for sure.
I went to look for it because it's been sitting in this pile of shit that I haven't managed to put away in the 11 months I've been living in this apartment. But when I was a little kid, the only time I've ever won a raffle, a local bookstore, I think in Chatham, New Jersey, had a copy of Leslie Nielsen's autobiography that was signed by him, and I fucking won it.
Wow.
And I still have that. It's like the only time I've ever won a raffle. I was like, no, well, I'm not winning this. But then as like a little kid who loved the Naked Gun movies, getting that, I was just like, I will have this forever.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
This
Nice
next
story.
movie, the sex and nudity is deemed mild. A man acts out oral sex with his mouth and hand. The scene is at the beginning, and the only thing shown is him demonstrating it.
Jeff in the Easter egg before we started recording.
Many
Dude, I never got that
uses
banana.
of fuck in a sexual context.
Is this? No.
A man sticks his thumb through his fly and says it looks like his penis.
Dumb and Dumber?
No.
It's something like that.
Old school?
A brief joke about being reincarnated as an anal bead.
No.
Oh.
Don't. No.
Fuck.
Oh, I got it. Pineapple Express.
Yes, Jeff!
Son of
nice.
a bitch. I just watched this somewhat recently. Might have been
Okay.
420.
This next one, also mild. A girl offers a blowjob to a man while he is driving.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yes, Jeff!
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
my goodness.
Favorite scene of the movie.
That was the only, when I was thinking about the helicopter saying somebody's got their head in the lap, I was thinking, okay, Once Upon a Time has that scene, but there's no helicopter. Goodfellas has that scene, but there's no helicopter. I couldn't, yeah.
Will, because you mentioned early on that you don't watch a ton of movies. Did you at least enjoy Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yeah, actually, me and my girlfriend just watched it. She had never seen it before. We just watched it last weekend.
I am due for my yearly rewatch of. I fucking love that movie. We watched Pulp Fiction last night.
It's really interesting when you watch it again after a while, because you just pick up on different things and really about how it's more about the feel of the city during that time period and stuff.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
And the first time I saw it, I saw it twice in the theater, and I know the second time I went and saw it at the Cinerama Dome in Hollywood at the ArcLight, because they do this thing where they have all these landmarks in Hollywood that haven't really changed much since that time, and they just, there's a montage where they're kind of just like featured, and I was like, I have to see this movie in the theater that is shown in the movie, because that's like, I don't know, it's just like such a fun living in LA thing to do. And
Very meta.
I've told these guys a million times, it was a sold out screening in the Dome, which is a massive, massive theater, and it was packed, and people were losing their shit. They were cheering when they showed the Dome. Everybody was like jumping out of their seats, hooting and hollering. And then the part when Brad Pitt like took his shirt off on the roof, the row of like 20-year-old girls behind me all just like climaxed at the same time.
I screamed when that happened. But they're also like eating at Musso and Frank's, and I took so many pictures and video from when they were filming that movie, because all of Hollywood Boulevard for the 5 blocks was all done retro advertisement. The Pussycat Theater, just like all of this stuff was like done to look like it did back then. It was really cool looking.
You tried to make it seem like you spend a lot of time on your couch, but when we were living in Hollywood, you definitely were on the prowl a lot. Like, you would text me all the time and be like, dude, they're filming a movie, get down here. And like, I remember you tipped me off because they were filming like a stunt scene for Iron Man 3, like when they're at the Walk of Fame, and they actually shot it there on location. So I like ran down there, and like cars were overturned and shit. Like, you always had like the hot tip of when something was being filmed in the area.
I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, why did I spend so much time just walking around looking at stuff? I don't know, but that's what I would do like all day and all night because I have sleep disorders. A lot of nights I just don't sleep at all. So I just go walk around, and then you'd see the notices up. Hey, we're going to be filming Iron Man 3 here tomorrow, so you find out things.
Well, what about now that you're so at peace with your professional life? Do you still have trouble sleeping? Do you still have to like go and wander the streets of Atlanta because you can't fall asleep?
No, I mean I can't. I've not slept since I was a kid. It's always been the same thing. I either just sleep for 2 days straight. I can't sleep for 2 days straight. I fall asleep and wake up 30 minutes later, or it's just every possible bad thing that can happen to you with sleep. But it's not really a walking around place, but it is cool because they film all the Marvel stuff here. And I've met more people in the movie industry since moving to Atlanta than all of my years in Los Angeles, for sure.
I bet. Yeah. I mean, Atlanta really drank LA's milkshake when it came to that.
They did. I thought it was like maybe New Orleans, maybe Canada, but honestly, I talk to people like, oh yeah, I'm just designing these costumes for the bad guys in this Marvel movie, or they just built this brand new, crazy, huge studio near my apartment where they're doing all the Marvel stuff. It's insanely huge.
Yeah, I mean, I've been listening to this podcast, The Town, which just it's that reporter from Variety just does like 3 short podcasts a week, just talking industry stuff, and I guess they recently passed some incentive where they like doubled the tax incentives to like try and keep filming more stuff in LA to just try and be competitive and get people back. Because I have some filmmaker friends that are just like, a trillion times more successful than I am. And, when we shot John Cooper in LA, it was all local cast and crew. And we were so far under the radar that we didn't qualify for a lot of the shit that studio films have to deal with, like dealing with Film LA. They require you to have like 2 police officers on set full time, which is a huge, huge, huge expense. And it's just like, if you get away from that stuff, let alone the tax breaks you get filming in Georgia. But it's crazy that you can shoot a movie, like a big, big budget studio movie, move all the talent across the country and pay for them to be put up in, digs that they deem worthy, and you're still saving money rather than shooting it in LA.
Yeah, they have all the buildings out there. They have the fake New York, the fake Japan, all that kind of stuff at all the studios, the ranches. They have all the infrastructure to make movies out there, but California is so dumb that they've made it to where it's going to be easier to go to Georgia or Canada or New Orleans
or the UK even.
Yeah, totally. It's cheaper and makes more sense to leave your state.
Yeah.
They're doing too little too late, I think.
Supposedly this stuff, because, all these people do still live in LA, so there is the desire to shoot in LA still. And supposedly what they did is not perfect, but made a lot of big steps in the right direction. So we'll see. Otherwise, you and I, Will, we're just gonna have to start our own studio. Let's just fucking do it.
When you think about the billions of dollars that go into making movies, I think probably hotel and airfare for talent is probably one of your least. It's like catering or something. It's like nothing.
I was talking to somebody who worked on a really big studio movie that came out recently. And when I told him what the budget for my movie was, he said that my entire movie was half of what their catering budget was.
Shit.
Yeah. So their catering budget could make 2 John Coopers.
You know what? You need to become a caterer, Kevin.
Crafty's crafty.
Yeah, you just make craft singles and bread and take in all that money and go make yourself some movies, son.
Yeah, everybody gets Fire Festival food and that's it. 1 piece of bread and here's a Lunchables worth of fucking turkey. That's lunch and dinner. Make it last.
Gotta make this budget work.
Shuddy, do you have any more IMDb boners?
I do. This one is so severe, there are 28 items listed.
Ugh. Dropping some porno on us now.
Wait, Kevin's got 4 and I got 2? Or does he got 5?
Nope. Kevin has 3, Will has 1, you have 2.
Oh, nice. All right. I'm in the mix.
Eyes wide shut.
There's frequent sexual dialogue. There is a conversation about masturbation that occurs. Quite a few scenes with full female nudity.
I'm close.
Yeah, talk slower. Jeff's about to giz.
A man's bare penis is shown hanging out of his pants. Brief, but very explicit.
Ace Ventura. I'm just throwing stuff at the wall.
Extreme nudity throughout the entire film, including genitals, genitalia, male bare chest, pubic hair, and breast, and nipple nudity, which is constant throughout the whole film.
Nipple nudity. I also didn't know that genitals and genitalia were two different things.
Two different things.
I didn't know that bare-chested men were something.
And actually, my apologies. It's not spelled genitals; it's spelled Gentiles.
Oh,
It's got to be a Mel Brooks.
Non-Jews.
So, extreme nudity throughout. Let me read it correctly.
okay.
Extreme nudity throughout the entire film, including Gentiles, genitalia, male bare chest, pubic hair, and breast and nipple nudity, which is constant throughout the whole film.
Wow. They're
Does-
hanging a lot of brain in this.
Did you register Will's Eyes Wide Shut?
I did. Nobody
Okay.
has guessed anything correctly. A man has sex with a woman in a bathroom with female nudity only.
Nice.
Pervasive, simulated female nudity. These are comedic, not graphic. Merkins are worn by all. No actual pubic hair or genitalia depicted.
Are you?
Mel Brooks. For
Do
sure.
you think I've seen this movie before?
I know for a fact that we have all seen this film.
Maybe I should get into the Merkin business.
Frequent and graphic sex scenes with explicit and full female nudity. Strip club scenes, parties, and orgies display many scenes of gratuitous full female nudity.
Will, remember when I used to shave my pubes off and save it in bags?
Strip club.
I could
Really?
I could make natural Merkins and just go into business.
Nice. With real human hair.
A man is shown lying nude on his stomach while a woman is about to sit on top of him. It's very comedic and not graphic.
Is this Harold and Kumar Escape from Guantanamo Bay?
Nope.
The Hangover.
Both
Porky's
scantily
Revenge.
clad and nude prostitutes are hired to entertain men at a party.
Risky business,
Is it-
baby.
Is it Wolf of Wall Street?
It is Wolf of Wall Street, Jeff.
Oh,
Wow,
do
look
I-
at you
shit.
guys.
I don't remember the penises or the Merkins.
Sure you don't. Sure you don't.
I love that movie. It's one of my favorites ever.
You just
Don't
have like
remember
a
this.
PTSD moment where your brain eliminates all the penis.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I blocked that out of my memory.
So, I'm going to need to come up with a tiebreaker real quick.
What?
Because I rigged the tiebreaker in, I think, Will's favor.
Ah, that's sweet.
But Will is not involved in the tiebreaker at all, and I don't think either of you would get this. So, please hold.
Is it a
just-
police body cam video?
I'm just happy I got this in a little tiebreaker playoff. I got off the mat. Kevin scored the first 3 points.
It's Hollywood crackhead gets arrested on Hollywood and Highland.
Shit.
I've seen that so many times.
Now that you guys need to spin wheels for a little while I
All right,
think
well,
of something.
While Shuddy's doing that, Will, let's get your plugs in. Where and when can people hear you and your sultry pipes?
I don't know. No, well, I guess
Oh,
whatever apps and online stuff where you can listen to different radio stations. It's 99X in Atlanta, and I'm on from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern time. So that's like noon to 4 specific time.
So you don't have to live in Atlanta to hear you. If you just get a radio app, you can catch. So are you doing song breaks? Do they let you fill time and like do interviews and stuff?
There's a lot of your number one station for Love Zone. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's yeah, I'm just saying, hey, here's a Pearl Jam record. Hey, you ever hear these guys? Here you go.
Pearl Jam, you ever hear of them?
Put this in your ear.
Remember when you had me be a DJ on the Punk channel?
Yes.
And I had no clue what the fuck I was talking about? That was fun.
Yeah. Nobody could tell though, Kevin. You sounded like a real natural.
Well, that's cool, man. I didn't realize that all this time I could have been listening to you.
I'm sure you would enjoy it immensely. I'll throw on some Hoobastank for you. There you go,
Please.
Kevin. Here's some Hoobastank.
This goes out to the guys in Mad Scientist Party Hour. Think you can drive? Brandon Boyd thinks he can. Is that the guy? I don't remember the singer's name.
No, I think that's the Incubus guy.
Yeah, it
but
is,
they're
right?
brothers.
Are they really?
Hoobastank's lead singer and Brandon Boyd are brothers, yeah.
No way.
Okay.
This could be Shuddy trying to trick you, so you use this in a song
It's
break,
not.
and then you put out
It is
fake
not.
news.
that's a solid piece of trivia right there.
Pretty good. You're going to hear that on my show tomorrow on my Love Song Dedication Hour.
And everybody, push for Will to start his podcast about police body cams.
Yeah. I think I could really impart some wisdom on some people because there's stuff I didn't know about, like trespassing and what you can and can't do if you get pulled over, because you just see videos of people saying, am I being detained? Am I being detained? But there's stuff you should know about getting pulled over,
Yeah, I mean, you could make that part of your show, like a segment. Like, here's weekly rights you did not know you had.
Here's what you should do, Kevin.
You can silently fart and blame it on the cop.
Do whatever they tell you to do. That's what you should do. Because look, no, seriously, they're all wearing body cams, So if your rights have been really violated, then guess what? It'll come up in court. Hey, play the body cam video. Look, my rights are being violated, right? Otherwise, they're probably telling you the truth if they say, yes, you have to step out of the car if I tell you to step out of the car.
Yeah, I would think that I would err on the side of caution of the cop on that one.
Yeah,
Be like,
so
hey, I'm going to
they
listen to
say-
you. I'm going to get out because you told me to.
Sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star and do a little dance for us. Then maybe you should probably do that, even though it doesn't sound right to you, but do it, because then when it comes up in court, you can be like, look, this cop is a jackass.
And also, if you're on Instagram, you should follow Will, because you get very good angles of you doing your song breaks and hitting the post. Very entertaining to watch.
A lot. Yeah, Instagram is at Dead Letters, and I'm not on anything else at all. But hey, you know what? If you want to email me, I have an email that goes right to my phone. It's contact.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. No, but it's not like a business email. That's what they wanted to give me. I'm like, no, I want something that'll go to my phone so I can answer if somebody emails me. It's contactpendarvis@gmail.com. Anybody can just email me. I'll answer you.
Are you sure you just opened a hornet's nest right there? That's not the term.
You can email me. What's wrong with that? That's fine. If
Okay.
I'm asleep, I'm not going to answer you. Maybe it'll take me a day, even if I'm not asleep. But I'll talk to people. Whatever.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Got a network, dude. I don't hate it.
By the way, while Shuddy is still looking things up, if you want to get one of these,
I'm ready to go when you are. But
either
I
way,
don't
if you want to
wanna-
get one of these John Cooper posters that are behind the three of us,
I do.
they are still for sale. Will, I'll send you one.
Cool.
If you go to etsy.com/shop YouTube.com/John Cooper movie. You can get a signed Second Coming of John Cooper movie poster. These are legit ones. They're not like, it's not like wrapping paper, like some dog shit quality. These are, this is LA. Went to a real place that prints real movie posters, and it also helps me because, submitting to film festivals is expensive, and you get rejected by more than you get into. So it is a pricey endeavor making a movie and then trying to promote it. So getting these posters really, really helps your friend out.
But I'm sure if you go on Etsy and just search John Cooper, you can find the poster there, right?
You could, but there are counterfeits. Believe it or not.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. Bootleg posters.
I don't know.
How do you tell the official one?
There's an option for me to sign it. The counterfeits do not have signatures, but I don't know.
Not yet. Dude, they'll forge your fucking signature.
They do now. Hey, that's where I'm selling all my dream catchers that I make by hand on Etsy. So, yeah, but seriously, getting a poster is a great way to support the movie, the project, future projects. Yeah.
I mean, I want to keep making this. I want to keep doing this stuff. And the animation that Will and I worked on, like I said before, I'm literally just waiting for the score to be finished. Got a pretty cool guy I found on Instagram to do the score for it. So once that is turned over, it's just going to be mixed down. Final version is sent back to me, and then it's going up on YouTube. So check out the Bonus Level Productions YouTube channel if you haven't already. Subscribe to it, because my subscriber count is a little needle dick at the moment.
Nah, dude, you're doing it all wrong. You got to say, smash that like button. If I get 10 billion smashes, then I'll put up my cartoon thing.
Yeah, my Riz is mid AF, homies. I need you to smash that button.
You got shizzle on your nozzle. I don't know.
My other short film is up there. The trailer for John Cooper's up there. My director reel is up there. And then very shortly, this animation project, goddamn near a decade in the making, is going to be available.
So smash that like button and ring that bell.
Yeah, listen to Will. You don't want to make Will sad. Come on. All right, Shuddy, help us land this plane. What's the tiebreaker?
All right. A man appears naked and he is shot in the genitals.
I mean, I know when people get shot in the genitals, but naked ones.
In a scene where a man is being tortured, we can briefly see his butt for a few seconds.
Wait, he's being tortured, but we're
Old
working
fiction.
on the butt.
A woman, when being tortured, you can briefly see her body side profile while she is laying down sideways in a pit. No genitals are visible. Afterwards, when they're dragging her off, you can briefly see her breasts. Not once, but twice.
Was this Hostel? A Serbian film?
A male is hung upside down completely naked. It is graphic nudity, and you see most of him.
Django Unchained.
Kevin has won the game.
Yeah!
Damn it!
I haven't seen that since Christmas, I think, that one year.
That's my yearly Christmas movie.
Yeah, that's my Christmas movie. That's great.
Yeah, wonderful Christmas movie.
Isn't it crazy that it's like a woman is tortured and beaten by 30 men and robbed and stabbed in the face with a knife, and you catch a little nipple, so don't let the kids watch. You know, there's a little off balance there in some way.
Yeah, that the nipple is the problem in everything you just described.
Right.
All right, well, Shuddy, thank you for putting that game together. And Will,
you are very welcome.
Thank you for hanging out with us. This has been awesome. I don't know.
Yes, thank you, Will.
I feel like I saw you yesterday. This is crazy.
Shuddy, Jeff, good to see you guys. Kevin, man, always good to see you. And don't be a stranger.
I won't. You have to
make it out to Atlanta for that film festival, man.
Oh, dude, I'm. You are the only reason why I submitted to that festival.
Aww.
I was like, if I get in, I'm going, and I'm taking Will as my +1.
I will get 3-4 people there.
You will break records for me.
aside me. I'm not talking about me. I'm like 5 or 4.
All right, let me
included.
make sure the theater can handle that first.
Yeah, please.
But it's been great talking to you. I'm glad that we were able to give the Puminati some closure. I know people had questions, so we got them some answers. That was very nice.
Very hard-hitting questions.
And if people would like to support the show, please check out our Patreon. It's patreon.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour. We have been doing it for 7+ years, I think, now. And you get access to all of it. We have not stopped. So 7 years worth of content, tons and tons and tons of stuff. And we go deep. Like if you go on the $10 tier, there's a show where we watch episodes of Supermarket Sweep.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'm not kidding. That is how much content we give you. We are like, shit, what else can we do? Let's watch Supermarket Sweep.
What a hype, man. Save that soundbite. Ugh.
I'm pooping mayonnaise.
And if you would like to see this, if you're listening to the audio version of the podcast, go to youtube.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour, and you can watch it in all of its wonderful glory. You can
It's
also
got great color correction.
That's true. We sent it to a big studio in London. And you can also follow us on Instagram. I'm at Kevin Kraft.
At Shuddy Boy.
Jeffro Records.
And at MSPH Podcast. And at John Cooper Movie. And, in case you forgot, at Dead Letters. Check it out.
Yay, me.
Jeff is Outkick Bets with Jeff Clark back in the mill.
It is, yeah. We previewed the Scottish Open last week, staying over in UK, previewing the Open Championship, golf's final major. Might do a few more golf betting podcasts, but it's going to be football season here, so definitely subscribe, rate, and review. I know you guys are mostly football fans if you do like sports, so be having that coming down the pike, but just golf coverage for the next week or, I don't know, a few weeks.
The only thing I love more than golf is to talk about golf. So you got me.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'll send you the link after.
Cool.
Will is definitely going to smash the Riz and subscribe button.
Yeah, man. I'm going to tickle that bell and grab that smash button. Yep.
The Tour Championship is down there in, I think around Atlanta. It's in Georgia, East Lake Golf Club. I'd love to get down there.
You don't have to tell me.
No, I know you'll probably be there.
Will's there right now. This is a fake background that he's put on through Zoom. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, something